morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another HRO Today Educational Podcast. I'm Elliot Clark, the CEO of HRO Today. We publish HRO Today Magazine, HRO Today EMEA, and HRO Today APAC, as well as produce the HRO Today Forum and events held around the world, and we're the managers of the HRO Today Association. Today we're going to talk about creating employee engagement. I've always said that the engagement survey industry can tell you a lot about your workforce and provide a roadmap for leadership priorities in the future. But I would also maintain that the engagement surveys, no matter what interval you administer them, are basically a look in the rearview mirror. So what tools do HR leaders and operating executives have to drive or increase engagement and measure it simultaneously? That tool would be employee recognition and rewards. Now, recognition can be used to influence the future, reward key behaviors, and change organizational culture. We all accept that. Now, the recognition industry has been in flux. 20 years ago, it was a catalog or gift card distribution business, and some companies still operate to that model. However, in the past decade or so, the recognition industry has given rise to new technologically driven platform providers who can manage sophisticated programs for social recognition, communication, and reward distribution. Some of these include management training and coaching, as well as sophisticated reporting and analytics. One such provider is Madison Performance Group, and we have one of their key executives here to help recognize technology and the future of recognition. Allow me to introduce Akiko Valverde of Madison Performance Group. Now, Akiko Valverde is the Vice President of Product and Sales Engineering at Madison Performance Group and has been there for 12 years in roles of ever-increasing responsibility. And I might add, at a time during great advancement in our understanding of how recognition programs drive both performance, culture, and engagement. Madison Performance Group is a perennial top 3 provider on the HRO Today Baker's Dozen with some of the highest customer service scores anywhere in the HR technology and service space. In addition, I would be remiss not to mention that Madison Performance is an employee-owned company. So, Akiko, welcome to the podcast. Would you like to add anything about Madison Performance for our audience?
Sure. Thanks, Elliot. And it's so great to be here. I'm actually really excited to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is technology and how it's really completely changed the world of employee recognition. So to start, I just wanted to say I've been so lucky to be a part of this journey with Madison and be part of this Madison family, as we like to call it, to see kind of firsthand how far we've come. And when I first started in this space, recognition programs, as you mentioned, were very simple. There were basic websites where you just log in, redeem points, or maybe you can give an award. And now they've really evolved into these powerful culture-driven tools that help companies really connect their people in meaningful ways. And at Madison, we've been leading that change since the beginning as a global recognition provider. And for me personally, having spent over, 20 years in this industry now, it's been incredible to see how technology has really reshaped the way recognition solutions are developed. And it's definitely an exciting time for sure. And I can't wait to dive into some of the topics today.
All right. Well, when it comes to being an expert, I will see that you are the maestro and we can proceed with your aria.
Okay.
All right. So I have to tell the audience, all right, maestro and aria are the names of their enterprise and mid-market product. So I had to get a little inside joke in there that I wanted to share with everyone. So let's talk about maestro and aria and the technology that underpins Madison's success. How is the recognition industry using technology to drive data and insights into workforce behaviors, right? So you can actually see this now. You're driving culture and you're evaluating the nature of employee engagement. How's the technology actually doing this for HR leaders?
Sure. So right now, Elliot, we're seeing one of the most, exciting shifts the recognition industry has really ever experienced. Recognition has gone from being something that kind of happened occasionally, as you mentioned, maybe it's tied to a service award or a quarterly award. It was more transactional and event-based in nature. And it's really grown to something that's really proven to be impactful, that's happening constantly. It's more visible and then woven right into the flow of work. So So recognition today is really very social. It's collaborative and it's integrated. Employees can give recognition right inside the tools that they're already using, like Microsoft Teams, Outlook, or Slack. So it feels really natural and effortless. And it's really changed how people connect at work. It's no longer a top-down approach from a manager to a team member. It's spread across teams. It's across geographies. Recognition can be given across every level in the organization. And the other big shift that's happening right now that I see is how we actually use data and analytics. So we're able to look at recognition activity in real time now. So who's giving recognition, how often, and for what kinds of achievements or values. So it's really giving organizations a really clear view, like a magnifying lens into their cultural health. So you can literally see what behaviors are being celebrated, where engagement is strong, and where there might be potential gaps. And then you bring AI into the mix, right? And we're really witnessing how powerful these analytics tools can be and really help companies go deeper. So we're seeing AI tools that are analyzing things like the tone and sentiment of recognition messages, helping leaders really understand how people are feeling, not just what they're doing. And it's really become a valuable layer of insight, especially as more companies focus on employee well-being, connection, and belonging. So, and another area that we're also seeing is the use of AI in helping employees craft more meaningful recognition messages. So these tools, we see a lot of them now. They give small prompts like suggesting a phrase that makes a message more personal or specific, more authentic. And I know it's a subtle shift, but it makes a big difference in the quality of the message and the connection that we see between people. And finally, now that we're seeing all this rich data being captured in our systems and kind of being fed into this recognition data engine, it's become more important, or I want to say significant, as a lever for companies to kind of really gauge overall organizational health. And it's become a part of a much broader analytics ecosystem that I'd like to say. So companies are connecting recognition data with engagement surveys. They're connecting recognition data with performance metrics and even retention data. So it's giving leaders a more holistic view or a complete picture of what's actually driving morale and productivity. And recognition is often at the center of it. So that's what's happening today. It's really powerful and really neat to see.
Yeah, I want to get into, the sort of some case study stuff about, I know you guys are a new generation, but first I want to say we have to do another podcast about the fact that the humans are using AI composition services to make their recognition statements sound more compassionate. That just blows my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you'd expect, all right? So we want to seem more human, so we're going to ask the computer how to write this. Okay. All right, but so let's talk about the AI. So I know you guys have a new product coming out. There are a few that are out in beta, and yours is about to be out as well, that are utilizing these AI tools for this kind of analysis. So what do you see as the evolution? So if I'm a buyer looking at trying to get that next generation, what do you see as the evolution of the reward and recognition industry and the application of AI and what it will do for me as an HR leader in the future?
Sure. And I love this question, Elliot. It's such an exciting time to be talking about what's ahead. And for Maestro and how Madison has approached and embraced kind of AI technology, we've released a suite of AI tools, Maestro Advisor, that helps you craft meaningful, positive messages, Maestro Empower, that helps suggest recognition events that may elsewise be hidden in certain areas. So we have a whole suite of AI tools that are meant to really make the recognition process easy for the employees. Where I think this is heading next. So when I think about how far we've come and how far AI can actually take us, I truly believe that we're going to see an even more monumental shift in the way organizations use technology to connect with their people. So we're definitely seeing a shift in HR technology from generative AI, which is the ChatGPT. It's more command-based, prompt-based, to the use of actual agentic AI. And that's more autonomous, independent, intelligent assistants that can actually give you recommendations and insights in real time. So just to kind of frame this a little bit, imagine a recognition partner or an assistant or mentor that's able to help you navigate through your recognition world and put insights and suggestions such as team performance and seeing potential missed opportunities or recognition moments all being embedded within your daily workflow. At Madison, that's where actually we're focused on is the next generation of AI tools. It's really using technology, not just to make things easier and faster, but to kind of declutter things, right? To really allow employees to work smarter, more efficiently, and more creatively in how they interact with their teams. And, when you kind of start applying about the different layers of an organization, we're always kind of targeting managers because we know how overworked managers can be. They're just juggling a lot of priorities from leadership. They're juggling their teams. They need to coach. They need to motivate. They need to learn new technology. And all the while they have to manage and complete their own tasks. So our goal is to really make their jobs easier by using intelligent AI assistants that will suggest actions and surface meaningful insights in real time. And it's not about replacing a manager's judgment or action. It's really about helping them see what matters and helping them take action more seriously. And for HR and business leaders, I think this is where I think AI and analytics are really going to make the biggest impact. So we know that recognition data is quickly becoming or has become one of the most valuable tools leaders have to understand what's really happening in the organizations. And we're already helping companies use this data, right, to spot trends where engagement is strong, where recognition might be lagging, and even how appreciation links to retention and performance. But what's coming next, Elliot, it is really exciting. It's being able to really predict what's going to happen so that leaders can quickly shift focus and make strategic changes before it actually starts impacting engagement scores and levels. So it's giving leaders tools to need to be proactive, not reactive, and adaptive by giving them deep insight into how their workforce is feeling and performing. Like imagine knowing where recognition is about to drop before engagement scores do, or imagine being able to anticipate where teams may need more support before engagement starts to drop. So having that insight is going to fundamentally change how leaders manage culture. And that's where we're going to see the true power between AI and advanced analytics come to play.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, Akiko, because, all you can tell with an engagement survey is what's already happened, right? It's
exactly.
You might be able to do some predictive trend line stuff, but depends on your interval. So in a very real sense, you can actually monitor, I would guess how often a manager logs into the system, how often employees log into the system, how often they're doing shout outs. And if you see that engagement with the recognition process falling off, that, to your point, usually, precedes changes in engagement or the manager is, disinterested, disengaged, or distant from the workers. I think it's a great point that you're making. In terms of the analytics and the data that you've got, you've got this advisors. Are there any kind of benchmarks that exist that tell us, this is how much you should expect your employees to use a system or log on or a manager, or how often, what your rate of recognition messages should be per capita in your workforce? Will you be able to provide that kind of benchmark data at some point in the future to HR leaders so they can see, as engagement companies do, they have normative databases of benchmarks? Do you think you'd be able to do the same?
Yes, and definitely. I think when it comes to advanced data analytics as it stands today, those are definitely things that is possible at this time and age. And we provide this type of data to our clients today with our own client base. Everything is anonymized. We have very advanced tools that will be able to see how you are and how you rank against organizations of your size, where you should be with participation, where you should be with recognition activity, where are the weak points, where are the strong points. We are able to give this data to our clients in a monthly basis. We have quarterly business reviews that we have with our clients. But as we move forward with advanced technology, there's going to be a vast selection of intake of this data from not just our own client base, from others as well. And then we'll be able to report that back to HR leaders in real time with anonymized data. So it's definitely something that we have and that we're looking to advance and kind of propel as we move forward.
Well, that's great. We're running out of time, but we will absolutely have you back to talk about some of that in real time once you have got a little bit of history and a little bit of data that you can share. But it's been great having you on the podcast. I want to, thank Akiko Valverde is Vice President of Product and Sales Engineering at Madison Performance Group. Thanks, Akiko.
Thank you so much, Elliot. This was so great to be here.
All right. Well, thank you. And to everyone in our audience, thank you for your time and attention. And we will look forward to having you join us on our next HR Today Educational Podcast.